So maybe you can introduce yourself?
My name is guoda. I'm an architect, basically. That's my profession. But recently I gave up architecture and started organizing different things, such as the workshop of constructive shamanism, which happened for the first time last year.
Maybe you can tell a story about the shamanism.
Constructive shamanism is an alternative architecture workshop where we try to connect architecture to the nature and connect people to architects, because while studying and working as an architect, I realized that there is a big gap between people who create our environments and just simple people who live in them. And I wanted to create an occasion where they can meet together. So I invited few well-known architects from abroad to design different buildings, and then I invited a lot of people to build them together. And the event took place in the middle of the forest. It lasted for 1 week, and during this event we lived together, we had many rituals together, and we were working in teams on those buildings, and we created a strong bond between each other.
So when we talk about our country,
Yes.
what is important about her?
What is important about our country? It's important that it's a beautiful country which has a lot of very beautiful nature, which we tend to forget when we look at very big cities, fancy buildings which have a lot of glass, a lot of concrete. And to me it's very important to create a bond, as I said, between like city environment and people who live in city environment and the beautiful nature which is around us, and to respect it and to find the ways to be together with it. So I think in our country it's important not to forget the forest that's around us all the time.
Maybe you can tell about what group here is working with you.
You mean during the constructive
Yes.
shamanism workshop?
Yes.
So I invited several architects from Finland, Norway and Estonia to design the buildings. And then I invited people, and I didn't have expectations about what kind of people gonna come. I thought probably it's gonna be architecture students, but I actually didn't know. I just announced the event on Facebook, and then eventually many people gathered, and people that I didn't know before. And it's interesting that most of them were not architects and were not connected to architecture in any ways. They were just sensitive people sensitive in their nature, and it was very interesting to see how during this 1 week they found connection with the architects who are like worldwide known and very practical, very formal in some ways. So it was interesting to create these interactions.
And while you were working with these people, did you saw any progress?
Yes, I saw a lot of progress. I think this workshop was, it lasted for 1 week, and during this week a lot of changes happened. Of course, changes happened outside, so we built all this stuff, all these 3 huge and beautiful buildings, so we changed the place and we created places for new things to happen. And also at the same time we had a lot of changes within ourselves, and I know it because it happened to me, but also I saw it happening to everyone who participated in this workshop, and people gave me feedback about it, and it was really impressive to hear how their lives changed after this experience, and how their priorities in life changed after staying for 1 week in nature, and sharing everything, being together, working together, singing together, living without amenities, swimming in the river every day. So I think I saw a lot of change, which was change in a good way, which we can call progress.
Maybe you can tell about, I know this place.
About this place. hmm And this place is a homestead which belongs to well-known Lithuanian writer Vytautas Landsbergis, and I got to know him last year. And he just bought this place actually, and he wanted to do something with this place, and I was looking for a place to build these things, so we got introduced to each other, and then we decided that we're gonna do this workshop together. So that's how it happened, that the workshop took place in this homestead, and it's quite a magical place because it's in the middle of the forest, surrounded by swamps, and there is a river nearby, and it's like a little island in the forest, I would say.
And what can you offer to do better for our youth? Maybe it can change something.
What can I offer to do better? Yes, I would say stay in nature sometimes and be with each other, not with your screens, with your computer screens and telephone screens, but with each other, really touching each other and talking to each other, looking at each other, to create bonds with people and with the environment which is around us. I think that this is very important to do.
Right. Thank you for this introduce.